They come to remind us of what happens when greed is unchecked.
He couldn't believe the amount of stupidity and greed.
Avarice and greed.
People are tired of the corruption, the greed.
Simplicity, is it greed? I hadn't noticed that in you.
I never took anybody who didn't let me out of greed or weakness.
Self-serving greed on wheels.
That's what greed does. That's what greed is.
Sickness of greed is strong.
Greed is a monster. You're a desperate woman, consumed by greed and bitterness.
To scourge the north of China, they come to remind us of what happens when greed is unchecked. They eat anything, alive or dead.
Hate and corruption was just a scandal. He couldn't believe the amount of stupidity and greed.
It was a scandal for George Bush.
Well, Abe was right.
And sordid reasons on earth. Avarice and greed.
Oh, no, Margaret, darling, don't cry, don't cry.
Deprived people. People who are tired of the corruption, the greed. I mean, do you know what the poor call those?
So two-faced. What taught you such duplicity? Is it greed? I hadn't noticed that in you. I really hadn't.
You keep quiet or I'll put it back in.
Their money.
Well, that's a nice rationalization, Roy.
I never took anybody who didn't let me out of greed or weakness. And I never.
A wind-up toy. Like 250 pounds of self-serving greed on wheels. The next 1,000 years is right around the corner, Kelly.
Isn't it?
That's not what greed does. That's what greed is.
When the axe comes through the door.
Are all these women professionals?
Sickness of greed is strong.
What about her?
Ego's a killer. Greed is a monster. But love is stronger. You're a desperate woman, consumed by greed and bitterness. We could have been such friends.
Now this vitality, this energy, this greed, this avarice, this unity of purpose, this anything.
We gave you, please the one called Hook, allowed his greed and ambition to corrupt your innocent heart.
I made a mistake.
A mistake which has cost us dear.
How about a little piece of integrity in this world that is so full of greed and a lack of honorability that I don't know what to tell my son? Except here, have a look at a guy who isn't yelling, "Show me the money!"
Tomorrow's child, protect the land from the greed of man. Take out the dams.
Government and their white masters have raped your land to feed their greed. IUF have freed you. Almost.
I see reasons everywhere. I call it greed.
Full-time hustles. I'm too good to waste my talent for greed. I need
It's against the apothecary's use of the old ways, and the apothecary's foul temper and greed made certain some of these sermons fell.
Assume an air of Eastern dignity, while greedily assimilating every Western weakness as quickly as...
Don't underestimate
the other guy's greed!
Lesson number 2.
Being headlong against each other, propelled by an orgy of greed and brutality.
And sometimes wondered where Stefan might be, for she had never understood the greed and envy of men. But she was to learn.
So, concerning your father.
And I suggest that your professionalism means greed and power, rather than to see justice and goodness.
That's what you see. There's no place out there for graft, or greed, or lies, or compromise with human liberties.
I never taught you to be greedy. You learned that somewhere else.
This is not about greed. There's nothing out there for you anymore, Dad. Things change.
Place free from politics and bureaucracy, distractions, greed. A secret place where they...
I'm too greedy. That's not greed, no indeed. That's just stocking the store.
Fire caused by what the Buddha called the three poisons: greed, anger, ignorance.
Except he taught us that we can fix it.
It was a madhouse, a greed fest, with equal parts cocaine, testosterone, and...
That's fear. Greed you're already acquainted with.
It's all a great story, Lee. I'm actually...
Greed? Yeah, in blood. Mel's is heading up the investigation.
The words denoting lying, deceit, greed, envy, slander, and forgiveness have never been heard.
World. It's not war that's insane, you see. It's the morality of it. It's not greed and ambition that makes wars. It's goodness. Wars are always fought for the best of reasons.
I warned your grandfather of what his greed would summon, but he would not listen.
Take the pictures. Gotham's greed.
Did I miss something?
We were talking about investing in the magazine.
Well, I gathered that, but why would you want to?
Well, not out of greed, that's for sure. I feel so badly that I've taken Mikhail away from you.
This voyage is cursed. We set sail for greed. God has abandoned us. The voyage is cursed.
Is a lot. But his ambition and greed serve my interests well.
Yes, my lord.
But we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goosed...
I'm betting on those awful races.
Pod racing. Greed can be a powerful ally.
I built a racer. It's the fastest ever. There's big